Hello, this is Arthur again, and today I have this very beautiful 2014 SL55. This car belongs to one of subscribers from my YouTube channel. Thank you for bringing it. And he contacted me a while ago. He said that he was looking for SL55, and we talked a little bit back and forth. I told him, buy the best one you can. And he did. He actually bought a really nice example. This car has 73,000 miles, I believe. And it is in very nice shape. It's one of the nicest SL55s I've definitely seen. The thing is with these cars, even the nicest one you buy, they usually need work. It is a 21-year-old car. If you buy one with 150,000 miles or 50,000 miles, most likely you're gonna need some stuff done on it. And it is a good idea to get one looked at before you purchase it to see what you're getting into. Sometimes it doesn't work that way, and the seller doesn't want to show the car, or the owner doesn't want to pay for inspection, or whatever. It doesn't work out, but you see the car is great and you buy it, but then you still have things to do. And this car is not an exception. It does need quite a bit of stuff to make it pretty much right on where it's supposed to be, and we're gonna do most of it this time. And I'm going to show you what parts I have for it, and we're going to go over the repairs, and I'm going to show you some of the repairs as well. Alright, let's check out the car. Alright, it's 2004, like I mentioned, the supercharged M113K Mercedes. This car is in very nice shape, silver with gray interior. It does have this turbine AMG wheels, which look great, with Michelin Pilot sport tires all around. The wheels are in very nice condition. Overall, the car is in phenomenal condition. I think it looks absolutely stunning. In this silver, I'm not really a big fan of silver cars, but this one, since the condition is nice, it looks very, very good. Take a look around this corner as well. You can tell from the headlights how the car has been taken care of, and these look new pretty much. Let's take a look at the inside. This one does have this nice aluminum trim, which is pretty rare. I usually see the wood one, which, it's so-so. The aluminum trim, I think, looks a lot more interesting. The seats look just new pretty much. For a 21-year-old car, they look really, really nice. It does have a updated radio, which I think is a must for an early car that has the smaller navigation. And another thing I noticed is that it smells great. It smells like a new car. Very nice. I really like it. Okay, under the hood is very clean. Obviously it's been cleaned up, and it is in good shape. Overall everything looks pretty good. The only thing I noticed over here, that valve covers are starting to leak, and this is a good time to address the valve cover leak on one of these cars, or really on any car. Is when you notice that they're starting to leak, that's when you want to really address them, because then they start making a mess. And if you have like a really clean engine like this one, then it's just never the same anymore. Then you have all these oil stains here and there you can't clean, you can't reach. And this one, once I remove the air boxes, I'll show you the leaks. It's not major leak, but it is starting. So the owner agreed with me, and we're gonna repair that. Here are some of the parts I have for this job: transmission service kit, valve cover gaskets, sealant, new bolts for the valve cover breather covers, as well as some breather hoses that go in the back of the engine. These usually get really dry and then they start cracking. It's a good idea to replace these. I also have ABC filter. I have ABC fluid, which is not here, but I have a lot of it, and I'm going to service the ABC system, as well as I have oil filter. I am still going to get more parts, and I'll show you once those are here as well. For this one, I'm going to start from the valve covers. What I need to do is I need to remove this intake tubes as well as the intake box, air boxes, and then remove the ignition coils. There's a couple of breather lines, remove those, and then there's this bracket, there's one more bracket right here on the bottom, and then remove the bolts that hold the valve covers in place, and then separate them from the head. All right. Okay, both valve covers are off. You can see that it was leaking on both sides. This is the passenger side, and this is the driver's side. They're not too horrible, but they're, leaking. They need to be fixed. This gasket is not too dry, but it's pretty flat, so it's slowly leaking out, as well as these breather covers need to be removed and resealed, and I'm going to do that right now. Okay, both side valve covers have been cleaned. I also cleaned up these breathers and the gasket area. Next, I'm going to seal them and put them back on the engine. I cleaned the surface over here as well. Everything looks really good on this engine, looks very clean. I do have another video where I go more into detail of valve cover replacement on a similar engine. I'll link it in the description box below if you guys need help replacing your valve covers on your M112, M113K or not engines. That will be pretty helpful. Alright. I put the covers back on, they're resealed. I put new bolts. We decided to replace the spark plugs as well, as I removed a couple of them out and they look pretty rusty. And I'm glad I did. One of them, well, as I was removing, I guess this electrode broke off from rustiness and the back part of the spark plug. So I'm glad we're putting new ones. I'm waiting for new ones to arrive. While I do that, I received some more parts. Let me show you those. Okay, these are the old spark plugs. As you can see, this one broke off from here. They all look very rusty, probably original ones to the car, 21 years old. So we're going to go ahead and install new ones. I did get new motor mounts, new control arm bushings, as well as transmission mount, and also I have a new rear left strut, as the one on the car is leaking. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the motor mounts now. Okay, I have the old mounts out. As you can tell, these are sunken in. They're not too horrible, but they are like torn over here. So they're pretty much done. They're not completely separated, but you know, it's a good time to replace them before they get too bad. These are the old boots. I have the nice new mounts with nice clean boots, and I'm going to put it back in. Move the motor mounts on SL55. You have to drop the rack and pinion out from its place. To do that, you have to remove one bolt, 13mm, that goes over there on the steering column, the coupler, and then there are two 18mm bolts over here. You have to remove. They have 18mm nuts on top. Sometimes you can't access them as the engine is sitting really low because of the worn motor mounts. So you have to remove the 13mm bolts that connect on the bottom of the motor mounts, lift up the engine, and then that way you can access those nuts. There's also three E10s that hold this line over here. You want to disconnect that one to give you a little bit more wiggle room. That's about it. And then you have to remove the motor mount bolt from top, which is a Mercedes special tool. It looks like this. It's basically kind of like an extension, and I usually use stubby 16mm ratcheting wrench to remove the rest of the bolt. The reverse installation process is you kind of want to fit in the bolts from top first when you're putting them back in before you lower it in place, because then you can't put the bolt in. Alright, let's go ahead and put them back together. Before I install the steering rack completely back up, I need to replace these bushings on the lower control arms, and I think it might be a little bit easier to do it with the rack out of the way. I'm going to try to drop these down and see if I can press these bushings out and press new ones in while the control arm is on the car, but I might have to remove it and do it on the press. I don't know yet how it's gonna go. I'm going to try to do that. Okay, I had to remove the control arms because there's not enough room to use any real tools there. They are kind of difficult to remove. This ball joint from the shock was really stuck in there, so I had to modify some tools to be able to remove it, but I got it out safely. So this bushing is kind of a weird design. It's you press this in and then you press these plates on. One on each side, and these, they don't just come off like that. You have to press them out. At least one I have to press out to push the bushing out. Once I remove it, I'll show you the cracked area. Okay, one of the plates is off. You can see the bushing is really separated. This side is actually even worse, I think, but it's kind of hard to see without removing the plate. But these need to be replaced basically. Okay, the bushing has been pressed in. You have to make sure both sides are even. Now I need to put on those plates, and gotta make sure you put in the right direction, and then that should be it for these, and then you can put them back in. Okay, the new bushing is completely installed. Now I just need to do the other one, and I can put the control arms back in. Got some new spark plugs. I have the spark plugs in. Next I'm going to install the valve covers. Look at that beauty. S55. Alright. Okay, both side valve covers are on. I replaced the breather hoses as well in the back. I had to remove this tube out of here to be able to guide the breather hose because it's too tight there without removing it. Next I need to do is put oil in the engine, as I had drained the oil for the oil change. And after that I can start adding transmission fluid. Alright. Now I'm going to start it and then start checking the transmission fluid level. Okay, the transmission fluid is in. I checked the level while the car was running and warm, and it's right at 65mm mark on a dipstick tool. That's full level, and I'm going to leave it at that. And I have the cap and also a locking tool for the cap, and I'm going to put it in so I know that the service is done and don't have to worry about this anymore for now. Alright, so I finished the car pretty much. I had to do the shock and the ABC service off the camera because our weather is crazy today, it's raining, and the rear shock replacement is kind of a pretty annoying job on this car. And then you know, with the ABC service, you don't really have time to mess around. You just gotta get it done. And I didn't want to damage the camera also. Anyway, so this was a pretty big job. This car received a lot of different repairs. It's a really nice car. 76,000 miles, not 73, I think I mentioned. It is dark, I'm tired, and that's it. If you like the video, please comment, like, and subscribe. There are more videos to come. Thank you.